Next, 3 memorable moments from opening day. We begin with the mighty Mark McGwire, who right off the crack of the bat made a home run record statement.
Unbelievable, the 10th career grand slam for McGwire.
But then, so did the kid in the American League have his say.
There it goes, there's a moon scraper.
Who, if given a chance to swing the bat, is going to hit a few home runs. Cliff Polite making his first major league start. 800 kids from the high school he attended there to watch. And he strikes out Piazza with a slider. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And guess what? Thomas Howard, liftoff. Right leg for glove. No. Howard's first home run tied at 5. Speaking of lifting off. Tied at 5, first and second. McGwire, ding dong. 1 home run every game will give you 162, and the Cards win at 8-5, the final score in 12. Said one of those 800 school kids who was in the stands, I don't care that much about baseball, but wouldn't you rather be here than sitting in school, especially if it 3 times at bat against righties, a home run every 12 times at bat. McGwire's not the only one hitting on this team. They're batting .354 through a couple of games. All that said, Padres Cards, and before the game, 3 of the umps never showed up. So 3 guys from the Greater St. Louis Umpires Association join Eric Gregg. Wally Joyner, check swing to left. That knocks in 2. The pitcher, Langston, doubles to left. Minor scores. Gomez scores. Langston's first hit since '89, and the Padres are up 6-zip. I thought it was the Cardinals who could hit. Bottom 1, here is the Cardinals. McGwire against Langston. And he gets him on a nasty breaking ball. Change up there, puts him down. He walked in his next at bat, and McGwire, do that to me one. Again, he goes deep. A 2-run shot. Thank Tony Tennille for that. We're at 9-5 now. The Padres on top of the Cardinals. All McGwire's done is hit 3 home runs in 3 games. He goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs. But as long as you have that Padre offense with Gwynn and Caminiti and Finley and the rest of them, you can give up 5 and still win. Back to McGwire, as I said, 3 home runs, 3 games. He's got 27 home runs in his last 54 games. He is as strong as an ox. Is there, I think we saw a little hint of it, is there a place you can pitch him consistently for a strike that he won't hit it out?
Well, you can pitch people. There's always some place to pitch someone. I always thought you could pitch Mark McGwire inside. We have some tape here to give you an idea of what we're talking about. McGwire has more power than anybody in the game, but look at him choosy. Hard breaking ball away. Nobody hits that pitch. Then he comes back yesterday, another curveball, kind of a hanger a little bit away from him. He spun off the ball, he missed it. Then with the game on the line, almost the same pitch. Sets up away, same pitch, hangs it, home run, see you later. Then tonight, he came up, and, man, is he strong. I don't know if I'd give him 5. His hands are so strong. He came up tonight, change up, got him, and I think that's the pitch you have to throw and make him think it's a fastball and something that fools his eyes. Comes back with another change up, a little higher in the strike zone, and see you. So what that proves to me, you can't throw this guy the same pitch 2 times in a row or he's going to hammer you. I think that you can get him inside. But look at here, fastball inside, bam, double down the left field line. At least they kept in the ballpark. But I think if you're going to get him out, you're going to have to keep him tight so he can't get that extension because he stays back as well as anybody in the game. And if you allow him to get those big forearms and those strong hands out there, he's going to kill you. You got to pitch him right there. But you can't miss him there or he's going to hammer you there also.
Ever going to get to the point where they just refuse to pitch the guy?
I don't think so in this lineup. When you have Jordan ahead of him with speed or and Gant behind him with power, you just have to pitch to a guy. Guy on first base, steals, you can't throw him breaking balls and change-ups because you're going to end up at second base. You walk McGwire, you've got Gant up there with runners on first and second. You create a lot of big innings that way.
The other thing, I mean, he has a tendency to go fishing. He does like to go for that breaking ball. All right, the Pirates have given up 4 apart. Padres, Cardinals, men on the corners against Pete Smith in the first. Oh, no home run. Safe at second for the Shield. Bottom 4, 3-2. 2 down, McGee's up. He's got men on. Little bloop to shallow left. Watch Chris Gomez.
He never takes his eye off the ball here. Tremendous play, just great extension. You're going to see it again from another angle as he just turns and breaks full tilt. Totally extended and never takes his eye off the ball. Great play.
Bottom 6, still 3-2 Cards. McGwire up with the men on the corners and forwards. Been there, done that.
Here's 1-2-1 to
good is McGwire? I think he's decent. I think there's some power there. They checked his arms after the game, and they weren't corked. The Cards go up 6-2. They win 8-6. McGwire's got 4 home runs in 4 games. So he ties Willie Mays. The season that Willie Mays started off with 4 straight home runs in 4 games, he ended up with 18. Consecutive game record, 8, held by 3, including Griffey Jr. Go back to last season, and McGwire's actually homered in 6 straight games. Wins hitting .429. Cardinals, despite leaving 13 on base, win. As far as Mark McGwire goes, team games. Last 162 games his team has played, he has shown up in 153 of them. A batting average of .277, but you wonder if the record could fall. It very well could. His last 162 games on a team, he belted 60. Clearly, health is a key with McGwire. Last time he played close to a full season, 1990, 155 games, assuming he does stay healthy. I mean, here's a guy who has every ability to break that record, and partly because he never looks foolish in the batter's box, never gets out of whack, does he?
No, he doesn't. He has great balance and tremendous timing, Carl. We're going to see a run right here of his swing. Look, hanging, breaking ball. Look how he stays behind the ball. The short stride, the short hand movement, the head hardly never moves. This ball right here, a hanging, breaking ball, center field. He almost falls over the catcher with his balance so good and behind the baseball. Unbelievable. I'm going to attempt to show you here how his balance is. Feet are shoulder width apart, which gives him tremendous balance. He has his knees bent here. This man's 6'5". He's got his hands here, and what I really am impressed about is how short a stroke he has. He has just a very little movement with his hand action here. His shoulder is turned down toward the pitcher, which you always want to teach young hitters. As he starts his swing, his hand action moves here, very short stride leading with his heel. He doesn't lead with his foot this way. He leads with his heel, and he says boom, boom, right there. What you never see him do is do this. His head never gets out in front of his bat barrel or his body. A lot of hitters get aggressive when they get out here. McGwire is always behind the baseball. He sets up, he gets in his crouch, he does his little here, and then he shoulder to shoulder, boom, and then he just explodes with a little up. Here we're going to illustrate. Mark McGwire, talk about balance. Look at his knee flex there. Right over the balls of his feet, width of his shoulders. Hands, a little bit of rolling action, and then the uppercut swing. Look at the left shoulder down and the 2 eyes on the ball. Boom. Looks like a pop-up. This ball looks like a pop-up. This ball is driven 420 feet. Left side very strong, head on the ball, strong right arm tucked, back side behind the ball. Just tremendous power, some kind of tremendous home run hitter.
Now, we talked about the number of home runs he can hit. The last 162 team games, he's played 153 of those, and McGwire has 60 home runs. The record can fall.
No doubt about it.
Over off the pitcher's leg.
Anytime you can help help the team win a ball game, it means a lot. So, home run, base hit, a walk, good defensive play. It doesn't matter to me, as long as you can contribute.
He can hit any pitch out of any field at any time in any park, and that's scary. It's great to have a guy like that on your team, but that's got to be a thought. That's planted in other teams, other staff's minds.
Lose 5, win 1, lose 5, which meant if the habit was going to continue tonight, the expansion club was due for a win in St. Louis. But Mark McGwire taking matters into his own hands, bottom of the third, gone. The 1-2 offering, his 5th of the year, 3-0 Cardinals. Bottom 5, tied at 4, and here comes Mark again. Oh, did he hit a bullet. Second of the night, 5-4 Cards. Bottom of the 8th, 1 man aboard, and remarkable. 7th of the year, 3rd home run of the night. Cardinals win this one by the final of 15-5. McGwire becomes the 3rd player this season to hit 3 homers in a game. Lee Stevens did so last night for the Rangers.
Over. This one's only in the bottom of the 5th, and we will keep you posted on this one. 8-7 the score here. To the Diamondbacks and the Cards, bottom 3, 1-0 St. Louis. McGwire up with a man on. 2 words, man off. McGwire's 5th of the year. And after an 8-game hiatus without a home run, guess who showed up? Matt Williams. They're loaded. Grand slam.
This was just a great at-bat. He had the bases loaded, obviously, if it was a grand slam, but he worked the count, fouled off about 3 or 4 pitches, and got a pitch he could handle.
2 out, McGwire again. Deja vu. McGwire 6, Cards are up 5-4 in the 8th. He's up again with another man on.
The 2-0. Into center field. It's a 3-home run night for Big Mac.
He hit it a long ways when the broadcast was saying it's gone as soon as it leaves the bat.
Going, gone. 3 times for Mark McGwire. 13 hits for the Cardinals. The Arsenal is back. McGwire now started with the home run in the first 4 games, took an 8-game absence, and now he's got 7 home runs for the season. All 7 of Mark McGwire's home runs have come at home. Significance to that?
Just comfort. I think when you go back home and you've worked in the same place, had batting practice there, you get nice positioning, you know where you're at, he's back in the groove.
All right, Mark, you back in the groove?
Just one of those things hitting, you know, things come in spurts, and you know, I've been feeling a lot looser the last week and a half at the plate, and it's just a matter of seeing pitches to drive. That's all it comes down to.
How about your son being there to enjoy it?
It's great. I mean, it's you know, it's a thrill for me, you know. So it's the first time he got to be a bat boy ever, and it's just neat to look over and see him.
I'm always amazed, never taken for granted, but you know, you realize everything is possible with this guy. But what can I say? You know, I mean, I leave it for you guys that, you know, are gifted with words, and whether it's spoken or written to describe what we've got here at Busch Stadium.
So we know all about the relationship he has with his son, and boy, what an exciting evening for Matthew. So in games, Mark McGwire, 31 at home, 33 on the road. There are the at-bats, the home runs, better at home. And as Harold said, there is certainly a comfort level when you put your toe into that spot and say, okay, I'm ready, and McGwire's got 3 in the game, and they win.
There. Injures his hammy while running around the bases. Langford just signed a new 5-year contract extension. He left the game. Bottom of the 4th, Mark McGwire with the man on, left the yard. Unknots a 3-3 tie. It is now 5-3 on his 8th home run of the season. All 8 coming at home. He's turned Busch into a home run hitter's park. Bottom 5, game tied at 5. 2 on for pinch hitter Ron Gant, and Gant got it. 3-run pinch hit job, his 2nd of the year. Cards go up 8-5, and that is your final score. The Phils have lost 5 of their last 6 road games. Mark McGwire walked 3 times. The Phils staying away from him otherwise.
McGwire and his favorite teammates, the bat boy, his son.
You don't know if you can ever have an opportunity to do that. And, you know, people here in the Cardinals were nice enough to have him and let him be a bat boy here. It's an awesome feeling. I love playing. It's a great ballpark, great batter's box. It was, you know, when you get in a box, it's a lot of confidence, you know. It's one of those mental things, you know. And you sit there and your feet are stuck in the box, and you got a great ground screw here. So, and it's got a great backdrop. I mean, everybody. I talked to so many guys that, you know, on the visiting team that come through. They just rave about how great it is to play here.
Harold called the Cardinals in Montreal to face someone they'd never seen. Oh, Felipe saw that ball coming at him. Top 3, man on first, McGwire. I think we have liftoff.
Felipe's lucky that ball wasn't hit.
Felipe would have preferred that ball to come at him, though, instead of going where it did. Cardinals are up 2-zip. Tied at 3. Brian Jordan's on 3rd. Ron Gant straight away center field, and that one is over the fence.
Gant had his whole body cocked to hit the ball to right field. That was a pull for him.
A pull hook.
A pull hook.
How about Stottlemyre in the 5th?
Well, they weren't going to pull Stottlemyre there. Duncan giving him a little bit of advice, telling him use all your pitches. Right there, used the breaking ball, came in with the fastball. Since he's gone to the National League and had to pick up a bat to hit, he's been really a great pitcher, and they're a nice defensive play also.
Being a hitter, does that help you be a better pitcher? Because at least you know where the strike zone is and whatnot?
Well, you know what it's not as easy as it looks to hit a ball.
Right.
When you got to put that bat in your hands, you realize that.
McGwire's home run traveled 437 feet, and for the 437th time, he was asked again about 61.
There's no reason for it. This is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. You know, I'm here to do what I can to help the ball club win, period. You know what? This is way early in the season. There's nothing to talk about. You know what we talk about? Talk about the game, period. That's all we can talk about.
Okay, people, I think there's a message being sent.
Leave him alone!
We'll talk about it in September. Brian Jordan goes 2 for 5, still with second base.
Stade au centre-ville.
McGwire ferme la balle solidement en direction du champ centre. Circuit Mark McGwire, un vrai.
Oh, McGwire!
They're going to go away this time.
Fastball. There it goes. See you later. 6-5 Cardinals.
Mark McGwire can hit the ball high enough where he doesn't have to hit it out of the park to hit a home run.
This ought to be interesting.
It might not come down, and nobody's going to see it anyway. So the strategy would be just hit it in the air as the bullpen continues to work, and it's Bob Patterson now for the Cubs. And here comes Phil Regan. Wants to give Bob Patterson a chance to get loose.
Yeah, if you hit the ball in the air, you might get an inside the park home run.
Yes, sir. Did I ever tell you what happened to us in Arkansas when a fence blew over during a game?
No.
Fence blew over. We had to play the game anyway. They didn't want to cancel it. There was some farmland behind it, and a guy hit the ball between the outfielders right into the farmland. He was a pig farmer. Pig ate the ball. Guy just circled the bases. Umpires met for 5 minutes. Make a determination.
And?
They called it an inside the park home run.
I waited for that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, it's 11:45. You got to break out stuff from my vaudeville days.
That's what. It wasn't real bad. It was very bad. McGwire swings and misses. I like some of your other jokes better, but it's not late enough to tell those.
It's not that late. Wait if this one goes into extra innings.
Yeah, exactly. Here's McGwire. He struck out twice. That just missed.
And if you're in left field, this is how you see things. Not real well.
The fog lifting for the moment. It's pretty clear in left. Pashota sets and delivers. Low.
It's clear in left looking this way, out to left.
Oh, I don't know about the other guys. I'm just talking about from our vantage
If you're
point.
Jose Hernandez looking in, it's not all that clear.
Pashota has had a spectacular start. He and Terry Adams. The setup man, and there's a drive deep left. Henry can't see it. It's over his head and over the wall. Hernandez, in left. That ball was crushed. Jose never saw it, and it's a good thing it was over his head because it might have taken his head off.
Well, there's not much doubt about that one. When Big Mac hits him, there's none cheap, and that one got out in a hurry. His 11th, and he's now driven in 36 runs, and we're not through April. And this qualifies as still being in April because it is almost 10 to 12 as Big Mac just smokes it. Jose looks at it and he says, nah, no sense even going back for a courtesy run.
And like I said, he's lucky that ball wasn't hit right at him because he would have been in a world of hurt. So Pashota gives up the walk, then the long McGwire homer. And now we go to the bullpen, and Bob Patterson will try to settle things down as we'll have more from Wrigley after this. Third, and McGwire can hit it all the way to Peoria, and it won't mean a thing.
This is a good play by Jeff Blauser. He comes and gets it, knowing DeShields can fly down the line, and gets him by a step at first base. And that's a huge out with everybody standing at the ballpark.
McGwire 0 for 1 has walked 3 times, and he looks outside. Now this guy, if you make a mistake, you got Langford waiting next. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike 1 call. McGwire can't believe that call.
A little delay on the call of Dana DeMuth.
One and 2.
Good changeup by Rod Beck. He pulled the string and had McGwire well out ahead of it.
The Cubs 1 strike away from 2 straight over the Cardinals. Swung on, belted deep toward left. Back goes Mieske. It's a 1-run game.
Well, that's why the retiring of DeShields was the biggest play of the game by Jeff Blauser, because Big Mac hasn't had too many pitches to swing at today. His 12th home run. He's driven in 38, but still, the Cardinals trail by 1.
That ball was absolutely crushed. And McGwire, 2 in as many games here in Chicago. It's 6-5, and now Langford bats with 2 down. What a game. The pitch to Langford. Bouncing ball right side under Grace's glove into right field.
I'll tell you, if Langford was entirely healthy, he'd have had a double. He's had some hamstring problems. That ball hit off the glove of Mark Grace. As we watch the home run, we told you McGwire loves it down. He got it down and hit it out. And the park will never hold that one. Not one of his longest shots, but effective. Mark Grace slowed that ball down. It died in the outfield, and Langford never accelerated around first base, content to stay there, and that's because of the leg problems. Of his career, Sammy Sosa.
12:30 Central Time. He launched 8 or 9 more shots into the street, and, well, the fans were, well, they didn't mind the buses, but they were really battling for the old souvenir. And another awesome display by Mark McGwire, who got a standing ovation for BP again here at Wrigley Field. Cardinal fans and Cub fans alike watching Big Mac and the Redbirds battle here today. Here is St. Louis's about this guy. The way you get him out is to strike him out high and in. But as a pitcher, doesn't that go against everything you're taught in keeping the ball down?
Well, sometimes, Chip, you just have to go with the hitter's weakness instead of your strength. I always felt as a pitcher that you go to your strength until the hitter shows you that he can hit it. Then you have to go to his weakness. Not necessarily going to his weakness if that's not one of your strengths.
1-0 to McGwire. That caught the inside corner. He's hit 2 in as many days here in Chicago. One ball, 1 strike.
And like he's capable of, and when you throw 91-93, that slider is not nearly as devastating.
Well, keeping it against the Mets, Rick Reed giving it up. McGwire taking him out. A 2-run shot, his 13th of the season, and number 400 of his career.
Yeah, and we're going to go back and see his first of his career. Back against Walt Terrell in Detroit.
Yeah, we'll do that a little bit later on. He was not sure. He was sure about number 1. He wasn't sure about number 400 there. Bottom of the 4th. Boy, Preston Wilson, I don't think he wants to go back to the minors. Just up last night, went 3 for 4, and he did it again. 6 hits in his first 2 Major League games. After that knock, he would later score, and the Mets go on to win it by a count of 9-2. Reed getting the win. He's now 3-2. Wilson, 3 runs, 2 doubles. He's batting .750 through 2 games. The Mets have won 4 in a row. The Cards have now dropped 4 straight. Wilson, impressive as always, but McGwire getting that 400th homer, has now homered in every stadium except Atlanta's Turner Field, and even with the Braves staff, that's just a matter of time. That goal, though, is for later. Achieving 400 is for now.
I don't play the game for records. I play the game because I love it. I guess you guys determine what the significance is. I can't say that, I'm not proud. I'm very proud of it, considering what I've done and how I've gone, the ups and downs I've had in my career. So it's a good example that you can come back from a lot of downtime.
Well, McGwire makes it to 400 and the fewest at-bats of any player of all time. Look at that, more than 100 fewer at-bats than it took the Babe to reach 400, Ray. He's just an awesome specimen of a home run hitter.
Well, he really is. Almost 2 seasons quicker than Jimmy Fox and McCovey. We're going to, as I said before, we're going to get to that Tiger take.
Yeah, it was foreshadowing.
Yes, sir. Look how slim he is here. Still got some guns, but a lot slimmer. 440 feet, 1986. Former teammate Walt Terrell, Chester Lemon trying to make the catch. He looks like a real little man right there.
Chester Lemon.
6'5", 190, Chet Lemon.
Well, we haven't heard from Chet in a while.
No, we haven't.
Making baseball tonight. He's got to be happy about it.
Risk having him take it well out of the yard. And from the Southwest Plainview camera, we'll take a look at Mark McGwire and that powerful swing. Charlie Relaford on the line, and it hooks foul.
From the Fox Network Center, here's Joe Buck.
No active player hits home runs with more force or frequency than St. Louis Cardinals first baseman Mark McGwire. He slugs one every 12 at-bats. Second in Major League history, only to the great Babe Ruth. What everyone wants to know this year is, will that be enough to break Roger Maris's single-season record of 61 home runs? I caught up with him for this one-on-one interview in which Mark reveals that his emotions are just as powerful as his swing.
Numbers, don't we? There it goes. This ball is gone. The left fielder never moved, and it is right back against the scoreboard.
I've come a long way as a hitter.
Another monster.
When I get in that box, there's nobody's going to mess with my mind. I'm so strong mentally. I know myself physically.
Only Babe Ruth has a better home run per at-bat ratio than Mark McGwire. And that's down the line to the left.
I think that's why I'm hitting the ball longer than I ever have.
If you're a pitcher tossing up eggshells to Mark McGwire, you have every reason to be terrified of him. Coming off back-to-back 50 home run seasons, the 34-year-old St. Louis Cardinal is, statistically, the most prolific SWAT machine since the Sultan himself. McGwire doesn't just hit home runs. He pulverizes baseballs, discarding them beyond the outfield fence like little bits of trash. But if you're not a pitcher, and you're not a baseball, then the only reason to be scared of Mark McGwire is if the sight of a passionate, 6'5" man with 17.5-inch forearms, who cries at movies and donates millions of dollars to charity and laughs like a 10-year-old kid scares you. If not, come along. We sat down with McGwire on a warm night in Jupiter, Florida. We talked about unexpected journeys, moments that mark a lifetime, and monumental records just ripe for the taking.
The question that's always asked is the one that you don't want to answer.
Well, there's how do you answer it? I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm preparing myself to do the best I can, but, there's a guy on the mound trying to get me out all the time. He gets me out over 70% of the time.
No, I was talking about the question about your favorite color. Were you talking
blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Not red?
No.
Not Oakland green?
No.
In 1984, the Oakland A's drafted McGwire in the first round. In his first full season in the majors, McGwire hit 42 home runs and was named Rookie of the Year. He and Bash brother Jose Canseco systematically dominated the American League. But on July 31st, 1997, after 11 seasons as an Oakland Athletic, Mark McGwire was traded to St. Louis.
It's amazing how in such a little amount of time your life has changed.
In a matter of, it was hours, really. If you were sitting here talking to me last year, I didn't even think I'd ever be in the National League. Then all of a sudden it came up, towards the end of July, and whammo, here I am.
I talk to people that are familiar with the game of baseball. They say, this guy's crazy for wanting to go to the National League. He's got a chance to do something in the American League, knowing the pitching, the smaller ballpark, so to speak, to set a record that would be front page all across the country, the home run record. They say, this guy wants to go to the National League. At this point in his life, it's crazy.
Well, I needed a change, man. There's a time that comes in your life where you need to make a move, and I needed to make a move. I just felt it. I had some great times in Oakland. For the last few years, we didn't do so well. And I just thought it'd be the best move for myself and to move on.
St. Louis embraced McGwire like a long-lost son. The last time the city had a bona fide power hitter in its midst, Harry Truman was in the White House.
This country the fans overwhelmed you, and that was the easy part. But the other part was your son, who lives out in California, to convince him that this little town in the Midwest, this is the place where Dad's going to be for the next
I have a great ex-wife, and my ex-wife, talked to him daily about it. And, he came back to St. Louis with an open mind and fell in love with it, just like I did. I was talking to him the other day, and I was asking him how he's doing in school, and he said he's doing good. And I said, well, what do you think about when you're in class? He goes, well, I think about, I can't wait to get out of school so I can come to St. Louis.
McGwire was set to become a free agent at the end of the 1997 season. Any number of Major League teams were prepared to show him the money.
And the ground ball to McGwire.
It was widely assumed that McGwire would follow it.
Good play, good bye.
But on September 16th, the assumptions turned out all wrong.
It didn't take long for me to fall in love with the city.
Now, I'm from St. Louis. That day that you decided that you were going to sign with the Cardinals was kind of like a present that dropped out of nowhere for the people of St. Louis that thought, wait a minute, he's not going to be a free agent. He's going to end all that speculation. He's going to sign here. And that night, you gave people one of the most thrilling sports moments ever.
Baseman Mark McGwire.
I got to the plate, and I looked back, and I was like, my God, these people are on their feet for the standing ovation. And then pitch 1 came, and they're still on their feet. Pitch 2. And I could not believe that these fans, took me the way they took me. And I was floating. I had no idea where I was at. It was a fastball over the middle of the plate and just got a hold of it.
Swing and a long one. Look what he just did. Look what he just did. Number 52.
Right now, it's the top best hit I've ever had.
But if memories of personal triumph bring this powerful man to the brink of tears, his profound concern for children at risk sends him right over the edge. At the press conference announcing his decision to stay in St. Louis, McGwire also announced that he was donating $1 million to start a foundation.
It's going to have to hopefully sexually and physically abuse children. Wow.
I've had some people, 2 close friends, open up the last year and a half to me, say they were abused, and it really got to my heart.
Thank you.
And then having my son not be able to be with him every day, and you just don't know what's going to happen out there, and you just don't want it to happen to anybody in your family, and it's just it's something very sad.
There was a woman in St. Louis, her name's Judy Weissman, a brilliant woman, an English professor at Washington University. About 7 years ago, she was diagnosed with cancer. She squeezed 7 more years out of her life, and she said those were the best 7 years of her life. She was a diehard Cardinal fan. She passed away this last year. And before she passed away, she got a letter in the mail from Mark McGwire.
I don't open all my mail, but I mean, for some reason that day I did. And it was one of those things that just touches you. And you have to do something about it. You feel good about it in your heart. And I'm glad I touched her in that way before she passed on.
She said it was the biggest moment of her life.
Well, thank you. I know she's watching.
Take a deep breath. Here it is. Can it be done?
Yeah, I can. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm saying it can be done. I really believe it can. It has to be a perfect season, though.
They're loaded for McGwire. Into left field.
He hammers one. Deep left field, way back there. He launches one to deep center field, way back there, and gone.
Is this what he means by a perfect season?
I mean, you have to average a little bit over 10 home runs a month, and that's a lot of home runs.
Because he feels like he's just about to get there. Just starting to feel comfortable again at the plate. See you later, number 5. Second of the night, 6th of the season. It's a 3-home run night for Big Mac. A bedazzled city considered changing its name from St. Louis to St. Mark. While for Mr. McGwire, perhaps the sweetest sight was the substitute bat boy, waiting to congratulate his dad each time he crossed home plate.
I think we ought to keep the kid in town.
I think we're going to...
It's been a pleasure knowing you the little time that I've known you, and you're an easy guy to root for. Thanks for sitting down with us.
I hope people watch this.
There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. Thanks.
All right.
A lot of people like to point out exactly what's wrong with the game of baseball. As you can see, Mark McGwire is what's right about the game of baseball. Many people believe that because of expansion, this is the year that home run record will fall. For my money, if he stays healthy, Mark McGwire is the guy to do it. We'll be right back.
Getting an idea for sports entertainment in the 90s. Tonight, it had a chance to show off what it could do. Mark McGwire at the plate with 2 men on.
Into the night, into the upper tank. Are you kidding me? Oh, my!
Home run. You heard the man right. It's an upper deck shot for the Big Mac. 500. Look at that. 527 feet. But the red bird never showed. Neither did the confetti. Well, that's only for shots over the wall, not into the upper deck in center field. Even Mac knew that one was special, bettering his own record for Busch Memorial Stadium that he set last summer. He betted it by 10 feet. Wow. The Marlins.
There's Wagner. He checks, he kicks, he pitches. Swing, and there she goes, baby. Look at this thing fly. Upper deck bound, 3-run home run. A monster shot over the Bud Light sign, and the card clean. 4-3. Woo!
The ball's still flying, 527 feet. Full highlights of the Cards and Brewers, full steam ahead.
He is the first guy to reach 400 home runs before his 4,800th at bat. Mercy. Mercy is right.
This week, no mercy, as Big Mac Howard number 401.
Up into the night, into the upper tank. Are you kidding me? That was just an absolute bomb. We're getting an estimated distance on the home run, folks, and it sounds ridiculous, but it sounds right. 527 feet.
That's the longest home run ever here at Busch Stadium.
Wow.
That's a long distance call from here, isn't it?
Expansion. The answers may be yes and yes. Tonight, the Braves try to extend their homer hitting streak to 25 straight games. It's the opener of our Wednesday night doubleheader. Now, the Braves will do it against a team that regularly witnesses tape measure shots. The Cardinals, with Mark McGwire, who happens to be standing by with our Chris Berman. Chris?
All right, gang, thank you. With Mark McGwire, the St. Louis Cardinals. Was that an 8-iron you hit last night, 518 feet?
That was a good 1-iron. No, it was a good ball to hit, and I centered it. I haven't seen many pitches of center last week and a half, and I've been pitched really tough, and sometimes just because you get a pitch hit doesn't mean you're going to hit it. But last night I centered it real well.
Do you amaze yourself? I mean, I know you don't stare and look at the home runs. You trot around the bases as if it's one of your first times you've hit it. But do you amaze yourself with the way the last year or so that they seem to be going even farther, like the one off Randy Johnson comes to mind last year?
Well, I think I've become a better hitter. And you become a better hitter. I know my stroke real well. I know what I can and can't do. I know the pitchers real well. I mean, there's still some pitches over here I'm still learning. But when you put those two together and you can center a ball, the ball's going to travel. There's a lot of guys that do what I do. And I'm just happy to watch them. So,
talk about playing your first full year now in St. Louis. This is a baseball town that really won you over last year, didn't it?
It's incredible. I mean, everybody that comes here on the visiting team just say this is the best place to play in the country. And it took me off guard. I didn't know what to expect. I know Art Howe and Denny Walling, my manager and coaches in Oakland last year, said that I was falling in love with the city. And they were right. It's just a fantastic. I mean, Monday night here, on a Monday night game, 33,000 fans. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. Usually you see that on weekends, but they support their team. We had a little rough stretch. We come back home and playing 33,000 fans. It's what a great place to play.
Well, tonight you get to see Tommy Glavine, who walked you every time but one. You hit a homer off him in the ninth inning the last time. So I know you get geared up to face one of the best. Good luck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mark McGwire, 401 and counting in the home run department. Braves Cards coming up at 7:30 Eastern. Back to you.
Thanks, Boomer. Braves and Cards, get it on right out.
Success starts with the riders.
What's the scoop on McGwire? Are the home run records safe while that kid's got a bat in his hands? And give me a piece on Baker and Peyton. Find out how to keep their mojo working. And hockey. Get me some hockey. Print it, baby!
She kicks, she pitches. Swing, and there she goes, baby. Look at this thing fly. Upper deck bound, 3-run home run. A monster shot over the Bud Light sign. And the Cards lead 4-3. Woo!
No ordinary home run for Mark McGwire last night. Big Mac's 14th homer of the season, traveled 527 feet, the longest round tripper in the 32-year history of Busch Stadium. It broke, who else? McGwire's mark of 517 feet set last year. Even Brewers manager Phil Garner couldn't help but to be impressed. Garner, whose club lost the game 6-5, saying, "I watch him take batting practice and the fans are cheering. It's great for the game." McGwire's BP exploits have become such a phenomenon that they're the topic of tonight's cover story. Here's Reese Davis.
He does something literally every day. It's really something to witness both in St. Louis and when the ball club goes on the road.
It's rare that a player wearing the enemy uniform will be cheered in the opponent's ballpark.
You know, you don't want to miss it.
I just do what God gave me the ability to do.
St. Louis Cardinal baseball has taken on an opening act. Mark McGwire's batting practice. Wrigley Field, too small for the Big Mac attack. McGwire hit 10 balls beyond the bleachers. Fans in Philly filled seats at the vet to witness 20 Titanic blasts.
Every other swing, this guy's hitting them in the second and third tier. And I think to people that's really exciting. And that's the one thing that he does, probably more so than any other power hitter I've seen.
It's an amazing thing in St. Louis because I have seen nights at Busch Stadium when we've had between 5,000 and 10,000 people who come into the ball game when the gates open. I mean, we have people that are waiting out on the street at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and when those gates open, they run into the ballpark.
There was a couple of days last year where people were up in the upper deck at Busch Stadium, and he was hitting the ball up there, and they were catching with a glove.
Whether a solo act or part of the Bash Brothers, McGwire is no stranger to the scene, and neither is manager Tony La Russa.
I think it was like 95. We went into Boston on a Saturday, and great crowd. They were there, I don't know, 20,000 strong, and he put on a display in batting practice, and they gave him a standing ovation. He went out during the game and hit 3.
McGwire into the netting for his 3-homer game.
I think that's probably the number one memory. I know if I'm in a groove what I can do, but batting practice is batting practice. It totally means really nothing, really. I mean, when the game starts at 7 o'clock, there's a guy on the mound trying to get me out.
McGwire may not think much of his act, but for teammates and opposing players alike, Big Red's warm-up hacks are must-see BP.
I want them to watch batting practice. Heck, I come out and watch his batting practice. You know, I'm a fan of the game too.
Nobody that you're going to see is going to hit the ball that far, especially during batting practice.
It's a real show. I mean, it's really worth coming early and seeing. I know I've had a few years in the major leagues, and I've never really seen anything like it.
If you watch out the players on the opposing team, they're all out here. You know, watching coaches, players, managers, and everybody. People don't understand, but it's hard to hit a ball far in batting practice than it is in the regular game because it's not much force put behind the pitch, but he's generating every bit of power, and the pitcher understands that.
162 games is enough of a grind on any player. For McGwire, the expectations start when he gets to the ballpark. People want their money's worth even before the game.
He's a sincere guy, you know, and I don't think he wants to go up there and not get the ball out of the cage, so it puts a little extra pressure on him. And every once in a while, he'll do it. He just won't take batting practice. He'll just stay back, hit under the round cage, and just save for the game, especially later in the season. But you know what? If it brings more fans out to the game and make people excited about the game, I'm all for it.
McGwire and the Cards ready to put on another show less than 4 minutes from now on ESPN. They will battle Atlanta at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us.
Next from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, it's ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball. The Braves with 3-time 20-game winner Tom Glavine on the hill against the Cards and their 400 home run man, Mark Eve of Destruction McGwire. 4:30 in the afternoon, and the gates were open, and the fans came through to see their man. Even the opposing Braves wanted to see Big Mac take his big rips. And it was time for number 25 to step in, and he did not disappoint. Wow, what a show that was. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to Wednesday Night Baseball. If you're looking for the long ball, I believe you have the right address. We got Big Mac, and we've got the Atlanta Braves trying to set a team record for most games with consecutive home runs hit. Last night, Mark McGwire hit the longest ball ever hit in the 32-year history of Busch Stadium. Off the Brewers' Billy Wagner, I can say back about 527 times. 527 feet, the home run for Mark McGwire.
First, a couple men aboard. Ryan Klesko
drills this one,
and it's warning track power. Brian Jordan moving over, hauling it in. Bottom of the fourth, Cards up 1-0. Mark McGwire gone. Off Kevin Millwood. McGwire's 15th, Cards up 2-0. Top of the 8th, Braves trailing 3-1 and still homerless. 2 men aboard. Andres Galarraga. Base knock off Juan Acevedo. Keith Lockhart scores. Braves trail 3-2. Later in the inning, Braves still down 3-2. Bases loaded. Javi Lopez. The other way, Chipper Jones scores. Galarraga coming around to score. Braves led it 4-3. And they would win this one by the final of 7-3. But the big news is the Braves go homerless. The home run streak ends at 20.
Elsewhere, Marlins and Cards. Mike Piazza taking batting practice, but he did not start Saturday night. We go back to May 12th. Mark McGwire hits the longest home run ever in Busch Stadium, 527 feet. He can go deep. And now we go back to Saturday night's game, and it's the bottom of the fourth. Marlins up 3-1. Levon Hernandez pitching, and McGwire unloads and breaks his own record. That is 545 feet, a new record, the longest home run now at Busch Stadium. Look where that one ends up. His 16th of the year ties him for the Major League lead with Vinny Castilla. Marlins up 3-2, though. Top of the 7th now. Mike Piazza up to pinch hit for Levon Hernandez with runners on the corners, and Piazza hits it to straightaway center. It's a sacrifice fly, and that ties the score at 4. Bottom of 7 now, same score when Brian Jordan dials long distance. A solo blast, and he was 2 for 4 with an RBI, his 7th home run of the season. And so the Marlins now have lost 6 of their last 7 games, and as you saw, Mark McGwire crushed.
Turn of events, bottom of 4, Mark McGwire takes Levon Hernandez deep to straightaway center, his 16th, and you know what? This one was estimated at 545 feet, the longest home run in the history of Busch Stadium.
The home run that brought the chart controversy to a head took place on a Saturday night in St. Louis. How could one ball travel so far? Was the single ball theory just a smokescreen? And what about the grassy knoll?
There's McGwire going deep to center field. Way back, and gone up onto the grassy hill out there in center field.
I knew there was always a grassy knoll theory, but I didn't know that McGwire was involved.
The biggest problem we had determining the distance on that home run was actually determining where the ball hit. I thought it hit that sign out in center field and dropped down, but it was a ball had never been hit anywhere close to that spot before, and so I almost really kind of doubted my eyes and wanted to get some corroborating evidence. Unfortunately, half the people that saw it said it didn't hit anything, that it just dropped into the bushes in center field. Other people said it hit the green backdrop.
Well, I believe it hit off that center field facing.
I think it did.
Other people said it hit the neon, and other people said that it hit the sign that I thought it had hit. So after we determined the distance based on where we thought the ball had landed, the visiting TV people came down and actually had a video replay of it, and so we were able to confirm at that point that the ball did hit where we thought it was. And that's how we assigned the distance based on where the ball struck the sign.
Keep our eye on the sign up there.
Somewhere right where it says fill you in is where it hit.
So what are they telling us for a distance on McGwire's home run?
Well, it is now the longest home run hit in stadium history. The distance on this one, 545 feet.
You're kidding.
As McGwire's come along, he's hit balls that have kind of gone off the chart. And the way the chart's designed is if a ball lands between 2 points, you kind of interpolate between the 2 numbers and come up with a distance. With McGwire, we kind of had to take it the other way and kind of extrapolate out beyond the numbers on the chart. Despite the fact that it kind of was off the charts, I think we're pretty much in the ballpark as far as where that ball would have landed.
On to Philly, where Mark's home run fantasy fans awaited still another ballistic barrage.
Here we go, boys! Here we go!
Deep
center field. Glanville watches it go out of here. He doesn't hit any cheap ones.
You read my mind.
Swing and a long drive. Watch this, baby. Out of here, off the facing of the press level in left center field. Second homer of the game for McGwire.
It's not a cheapie.
Watch that, baby. Oh, man. That is an upper deck, third row of the upper deck. Third home run of the night. Oh, my. None of them have been El Cheapos.
No, they never are.
Here we go, boys! Here we go!
Speaking of things being broken, that scoreboard, that little billboard out in center field, come on. Nobody hits a ball up there.
Well, I have to say that was probably the best ball I've ever hit in my life.
You hit one into Big Mac land the other day. You gave 47,000 plus a free Big Mac. Are you a Big Mac guy?
I've never had a Big Mac ever in my whole life. Not that I don't like hamburgers. It's just, I just don't like all that stuff on it.
You don't like
27 feet until last night's 5:45. It was a record at Busch. Wednesday, Angels visiting the White Sox. Cecil Fielder was up. He sends this one deep to left, 473 feet, the longest ever by a visitor at Comiskey. To Blair this season. Marlins and Cardinals, Cards down 5-0. But don't worry, Mark McGwire is here. He had 2 home runs earlier this week, 0 for 500. Oh, that's just a soft touch. 478 feet away off of Jesus Sanchez. McGwire said it felt like he hit a batting practice fastball for his 17th of the year. Manny Ibar on the hill. Todd Zeal up the middle. Mike Piazza will come around and score from second, helping the Marlins beat the Cardinals by the score of 7-3. Now, despite giving up that Big Mac 478-foot shot, Jesus Sanchez wins for the third time in 4 starts.
Mammoth power, such as that he generated with a 545-foot blast against Florida Saturday. Then again, there's volume. Cards and Phillies pregame batting practice has become a show around the big leagues to watch him hit them in the upper deck and give souvenirs to the kids. Top of the first, his first at bat, Tyler Green outside fastball. McGwire was looking at it. Top 3, McGwire's second at bat. He's looking at that one too, and this time he swung at it and hit it. A 440-foot job off of Green. Number 18 is 3-0 Cards just like that. Top 5 is 3-2 Cards. McGwire's third at bat. Second home run. Number 19. This one went about, I'm guessing, 471 feet off Green again. It's 5-2 Cardinals. Bottom 5, 7-4 Cards. Rico Bronya against Marpet Kajzik up the middle. Ray Langford, little hip. Bronya to third. Little single and 2-base error. Next batter, Mike Lieberthal, master of his domain. 7-6 St. Louis, but the Phillies are threatening. Bottom 6 is tied at 7 bases juiced. Lieberthal again. This time right back to Mike Frascatore. Comes home for 1 on the first. It's Lieberthal on the head. No interference called. Scott Rowland scores. Philly up 8-7. Check that thing out again. Mike should be out for running inside the baseline. Top 8. Here's McGwire again.
Down there also. Here's McGwire. The pitch. Swing! And his third home run of the night. It's going to go into the upper deck. Wow! Man, oh man, he is something else.
And that he is. McGwire, his 4th career 3 home run night. And Terry Francona said, okay, I've seen that before. I'm tired of watching. 10-8. The Cardinals win it. That's the final. McGwire with 6 RBIs in the game. That ties his career high. Second time he's done that this season. Second and the 4th time in his career, as we mentioned, that he's gone yard 3 times in a game. McGwire found time to delve into another sport as well. He's among several players signed to help fund a Busch racing team for Bobby Hillin. And they're going to put something on the back of that car to keep track of his home runs. And at this rate, they're going to have to change the number of home runs during pit stops.
May 8th of 1991. Now, Mark, we're not going to ask you about Maris, but what about the National League record through the first 2 months?
Mark, a night like tonight obviously gets the fans and us, the media, talking about the record. Do you let that sink into your head at all?
I know. I'm sticking to my statement that I've said all along, and I think every hitter that you guys ask these things, until somebody gets to 50 by September, then it's a legitimate thing to talk about. But right now, I don't think there is.
No, I said the record for home runs through April and May. He's got 20 of them now. That's the National League mark. I guess we're still going to have to talk to Mark because Ken Griffey Jr. holds the record. He said it last year. 24 home runs for the first 2 months, but of course the seasons start a little bit earlier than they used to, so more games played. And as Harold just mentioned, his RBI count is way up, so McGwire is not hitting meaningless home runs. They're big.
5-3. Stoudemire, excellent effort, goes to complete game, 7 Ks. He runs at Bush, and we have liftoff. That's a rocket launch off the bat of McGwire to Big Mac land. 425 feet later, everybody gets a Big Mac, and it's a double beanie baby night. Curtain call to the ninth. The Cards are up 3-1. Langford hit a solo shot. It's the pinch hitter, Billy Miller, had 4 hits yesterday.
Well hit.
Brantley put one over the middle of the plate, and Miller puts one over the wall. 2-run shot. We're tied at 3. Bottom 12, same score. Rob Nen in.
Look how the third baseman is playing so tight here. He should be back 4 or 5 steps. What happened? The ball just ekes by him, run scores. But again, always an outstanding RBI man.
But you bring him back, ground ball, you can still come home?
Absolutely.
4-3, the Cardinals take care
They face the Giants, bottom 1. Giants up 3-0 already. Danny Darwin, rough night. Bases loaded. Darwin against Brian Jordan, who singles. Delano DeShields can score. Mark McGwire, huffing and puffing, and he'll score 2. Cards down 3-2. They would add 2 more. Bottom second, Cards up 4-3. First and third, Ray Langford is no longer in your ballpark. A 9-game hitting streak and a home run. Cards up 7-3. Bottom 4, Cards up 7-4. Big Mac knows that force equals mass times acceleration. His 22nd homer of the season, Dusty Baker in disbelief. Cards up 8-4. Bottom 5, score tied at 8. Mangos. McGwire again. 23 on the year, second of the game. The Cardinals 3-4-5 hitters went a combined 8 for 12, 7 runs, 3 dingers, 9 RBI on the night. The Cardinals win it 11-10. Big Mac's 2 home runs give him 23 for
But, quote, Tommy quickly got dominant, and he did. Glavine retired 27 of the next 30 batters he faced. None of those who made first got past it. Glavine's now 7-2. It was his first complete game since last September. Now the Giants and the Cards. Mark McGwire, 2 dongs on Saturday. What did he do on Sunday? 9th inning, 4-2. The Giants are down. Bill Miller at the plate, pops it up, down the third baseline. Ron Gantz after it, making a sliding miss. But Royce Clayton on the rebound. Second look. Was it off his wrist or off the ground? It's ruled a catch.
What a play.
Next batter, Barry Bonds.
Here's the 2-2.
He's going to go into his post because the 2-2 pitch is going and gone. His 11th. Not in this game. That would be a record. 2-run homer. Dusty Baker likes it. It's a 4-4 game. 10th inning. Mark McGwire at the plate. He'll face Rob Nen. It'll happen soon. 2 out. Bases loaded. Again. The players are McGwire and Nen. And he's gone. It ends the inning. 12th inning. 4-4 game. 1 out, 1 on. Jeff Kent is back and not coming back. Off John Frascatore. Actually, it did bounce back in, didn't it? But it's a homer. Giants up 6-4. 12th inning. 1 on, 2 out. Mark McGwire. My power is beyond your understanding. 24th of the year. Ties the game at 6. He also ties Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs by June 1st. And it's not June 1st. 14th inning. 2 out, none on. Giants avoid the McGwire hit. Additional scorecards needed. We're in the 17th. 2 on, no out. Stan Javier at the plate. Throws down the bunt. Kent Merker slips. Picks it up. My bad. Throw doesn't work out so well. JT Snow scoring. Willie McGee, he'll hose it to home, but it's off the mark. Charlie Hazel scored. 2-run error, and the Giants win a very long baseball game. A count of 9-6. That's the longest game this season in the majors. A note which flies in the face of baseball being a timeless sport. 5 hours, 45 minutes for the 17 innings.
Pitching staff with 6 homers over his past 5 games. And what kind of damage could he do to John Thompson and the Rockies? First, Colorado would get some blood on Mike Busby. Dante Bichette with a bases-clearing double. Scores Larry Walker, who extended his hitting streak to 20 games. Vinny Castilla and Todd Helton made it 3-0 Rocks. And there after the first, the Cards left it up to McGwire. Facing John Thompson. He was tied with Ken Griffey Jr., 24 home runs before the end of May. That's 25, one of his many records. A solo shot. Rocky still led 3-1. As if things weren't bad enough, it was 4-1 when Mike Busby felt something pop in his elbow on this Castilla foul ball. He left with a strained elbow, and the Cards say it does not look good. The only thing that did look good for them today, McGwire's 25th home run. Peter, at this point, through 49 games, Maris had 17, Ruth 18. He's just phenomenal.
He is, but the Cardinals pitching problems. 3 of the top 4 pitchers are out. They don't expect Morris for another 2 months. Now Busby's back. They're going to have to start showing low, and they've been looking around, and right now, there's absolutely no pitcher available that they can afford.
Yeah, he better start hitting 9-run homers. McGwire's total is changing almost every day, but his attitude about it isn't.
I'm not here to talk about individual things. And people might get frustrated with me, but that's not the purpose why I'm playing the game of baseball. I'm playing because it's a team sport. God gave me the ability to play this sport, and I'm going to play to my best of my knowledge every day to try to help the team win. You guys take care of all that individual stuff.
McGwire needs 35 more home runs to catch Ruth at 60, but he homers more often than the Babe. His rate is now every 11.6 at-bats in his career, slightly more frequently than Ruth. As we take a look at where these players were on the all-time list, he just needs 7 home runs in June to pass Griffey for the most home runs through the end of June, and then Ruth and Fox aren't too far beyond that.
McGwire has said it's not worth talking about the Roger Maris chase until someone has 50 home runs by September. Well, at this point, McGwire won't. He'll have 60 home runs by then, maybe 70. One of our crack researchers used algebra for the first time since the 7th grade to figure out the following. McGwire stays healthy, maintains his homer pace, gets his usual rest, and barring rainouts, he'll break Maris's record in St. Louis's 125th game, August 18th, at Wrigley. Get your tickets now. Kenny Mayne breaks down Big Mac's binge.
Runner going! There it goes! See you later! It's in Big Mac land!
Mark McGwire is dominating all the land. With number 25 on the 25th of May, he set a major league record for homers before June 1st. This one came in the Cardinals' 25th home game, and it tied the team record for home runs in the season. He has 56 home games to set a new mark. The pressure will be intense.
Don't let him extend on you. Like that. Up into the night, into the upper tank. Are you kidding me? Oh, my!
In his team's last 162 games, that's Oakland and St. Louis, McGwire has hit 67. Yes, 67 home runs. In the 97 games he's played for St. Louis, he has 49.
The 0-2 pitch and a high fly ball hit deep to left field. Back goes Becker, back onto the track, back near the wall, and it is out of here, right down the line. Home run number 400 for Mark McGwire.
McGwire got to 400 homers faster than any other player in history, and that's only one record he's topped this season.
Watch that, baby. Oh, man. That is an upper deck, third row of the upper deck, third home run of the night.
With his second 3-homer game of the year, McGwire passed Babe Ruth's record of 1 home run for every 11.76 at-bats. Max ratio, 1 homer every 11.6.
Fly ball, deep left center field. They watch it leave the ballpark. Olympic Stadium. You're on the list no more. McGwire just put the notch in his bat.
Turner Field stands alone as the only current Major League stadium yet to witness a Mac home run. Career at-bats there, just 8. But beware, Atlanta, the Cards come to town July 31st.
Complicated. I mean, he throws mainly a...
Well hit down the line and left, and gone.
Adios.
Into the upper tank. Are you kidding me? Oh, my!
Scouting report says decent hitter, good power. In 1946, Ralph Kiner led the National League with 23 home runs. In less than 2 months, Mark McGwire has passed that mark. And in the same 2 months, McGwire has hit more home runs than over 1,000 major leaguers hit last season. The numbers are gaudy, yet McGwire stays grounded. As he told Chris Berman, not even he being McGwire, is bigger than the game.
Back in '91, I was doing things that people wanted me to do. I wasn't being myself. And that's one thing that I'll tell young players and tell young kids out there in college or high school. You have to be yourself. God gives you a certain ability. You know, and it was something that people are trying to tell me to go the opposite way. I'm not an opposite way hitter. I'm a pull hitter. And I have to go to my strengths. And if I'm going to go to my strengths, it's going to help me out. It's going to help the team out. So I just went back to the basics and got on top of the plate and became more of a pull hitter, and the ball started leaving out of the ballpark.
You've never been a batting practice showman. I mean, you're working at batting practice, I know. Are you aware of the oohs and the ahs? You try and... You're not trying to put on a show, but are you aware of it in the back of your head, and does it kind of pump you up?
It's overwhelming. It's definitely overwhelming. I mean, I've been doing this for, 12 years, and all of a sudden, in a matter of a month last year, it's a big attraction. People coming out to watch for batting practice, I think that's a great thing for baseball. It's not just me, it's all the home run hitters in the game. It's bringing people back in the stands, and I think it's great.
Into the night, into the upper tank. Are you kidding me? Oh, my!
Everybody said this was a real difficult ballpark to hit home runs in, and ever since I've been here, it's a very fair ballpark to hit home runs in. And the warmer it gets, and the stronger the guys are today, I'm not surprised anybody hits the ball the way they are doing right now. And it's just one of those things, you hit it, leaves the ballpark, running on the bases, going. It's a
400 home runs.
Thinking that I hit 400 quicker than any player in the game, it's a great honor. I mean, considering for 2 years, 93 and 94, I never played. I only had like maybe 80 at-bats both years. So it's quite an honor. It also shows that you can't come back from adversity, especially for a guy that was wanting to retire in 96 after I blew out my foot again. So you can't come back from it. I'm a living example, and things happen for a reason.
They cannot now mention your name or Mark McGwire's playing tonight without 61 home runs. Does it now not wear on you, or does it a little bit?
Well, I think the media is getting a misconception of what's going on. I mean, they're assuming that I can't handle the media. I can handle the media with the best of them. The thing is what is the purpose of talking about a home run when there's nothing to talk about? How many times can you talk about hitting a home run? You see the ball, you hit it. I don't know what I'm going to do each day. There's not a little click on a bat saying I'm going to hit a home run today. I don't know. If I wake up every day, put my 10 toes on the ground, walk to the ball, and come to the ballpark, get ready to play, that's the only thing I know I can do. I can prepare myself to do the best I can. There's a guy on the mound trying to get me out. I turn it into a positive because in this game of baseball, when we heard it back in '94, it's an added plus. I mean, talking about 61, it's given everybody excitement to come back to the ballpark. The new pitcher in Chicago, he's the real deal. People should come to watch him throw. He throws 97 miles an hour. He's got a great curveball. I'll tell you what, he's going to be something people are come out to watch, and it's great for baseball. I'm really happy for it.
It's fun to see you having so much fun, my friend.
I love this game. I absolutely love this game.
Well, all those baseballs are the ones that McGwire has hit out, and if you look, 2 of them are to the right side of second base, and as he said, back when he was with the A's, one of the things they try to do is make him sort of a spray hitter and hit to all fields, and he doesn't have to hit to any part of the field. He'll just hit it out of the field. And the thing is, just listening to him, that you're most impressed with, I think, is the fact that he really doesn't believe he's bigger than the game, and that the things he does really contributes to making baseball more of a popular game. And generally, that's not what most athletes, certainly professional baseball players, think nowadays.
Well, I think with Mark McGwire, you got to think back to the injuries. Anytime you go through injuries and you're able to come back and play, you appreciate where you're at before, even greater than when you were there. Get a chance to spend time with him, playing with him on tours and different things. Class, solid guy. Back to him saying, I want the ball inside. He's baiting a lot of pitchers, and he gets on top of the plate, and what that does is it forces them to say, I'm going to challenge him inside with a fastball. He's hitting so many fastballs for home runs. He's got such a tremendous approach. He knows who he is. He knows what he's doing at the plate, and with that combination, you can't help but win.
A lot of the power pitchers, and we saw Kerry Wood blow him away, Kurt Schilling, do have success by trying to get the fastball up. It seems to be the one pitch he struggles with.
If he stays healthy, it's over. In the late 80s, they would strut into a stadium with biceps bulging. One look and you'd think the Mr. Universe contestants were in town. But no, it was the Oakland A's, led by the Bash brothers, Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire. Over the years, those two behemoths have gone their separate ways, both battling injuries, dealing with trades. But both Canseco and McGwire are on top again, still bashing after all these years. During their heyday with the Oakland Athletics, Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire, the Bash brothers, racked up countless individual and team accomplishments. In 1987, McGwire earned AL Rookie of the Year honors and led the league with 49 home runs.
McGwire hits one deep in the left center field. That ball's hit well. It's got a chance, and there she goes.
In '88, Canseco founded the 40-40 Club.
He's running. There's the throw. Number 40. Jose Canseco, the first man ever in big league history.
And in '89, Canseco's 3-run homer in Game 3 helped propel the A's to a World Series sweep.
A's trying to sweep, but the Giants have certainly not made life easy for them tonight. It's a ground ball to the right side, steered by Phillips, flips to Eckersley. Yes, he's there in time, and the A's are the world champions.
But in 1992, a blockbuster deal that sent Canseco to the Rangers broke up the brothers.
I'm kind of like slightly in shock, so I don't think my thought patterns are all coordinated together right now. So it's difficult right now.
This year, more than a decade after they burst onto the scene in Oakland, Canseco and McGwire are once again poised to produce career seasons. McGwire's on pace to surpass Roger Maris's record of 61 home runs in a season.
There it goes. Number 25.
Canseco is positioned to make a run at 40-40 again.
Blue Jays tired. Canseco aims one for the monster. Up and off the screen.
Are they better now than in their Bash brother days?
Well, I tell you, I think they're both a lot wiser. Mark always were a good home run hitter, but I don't think he was as smart as a hitter back then. I just went back to the basics and got on top of the plate and became more of a pull hitter, and the ball started leaving out of the ballpark.
It's probably as simple as health, really. During the offseason, I changed my routine a little bit. I slimmed down to about 230 pounds, dropped to about 9% body fat.
He's been really our rock of Gibraltar, clutch hitting, clutch home run hitting, and stealing some bases. And I tell you what, it's been exciting to have him on our ball club.
Left center field. That one is going to win the ball game. Off the wall.
I look back over the years, I still think he's the most talented athlete, player I ever was involved with. And whenever his body's healthy and his mind's right, he's capable of great things. Hoji's a great individual with a lot of natural ability, and you know, I'm just glad to see him swinging the bat like he did when I played with him in '88 and '89. And I still think that there's a lot of great baseball in Hoji.
However, even if McGwire and Canseco are putting up numbers that stir memories of the best days of their youth, one thing has changed.
I wasn't the focal point in Oakland for quite a few years. Everybody wanted to come out and see Jose Canseco because Jose Canseco could put on a show better than I can put on a show. And nowadays, things have changed.
How much have you watched Mark McGwire this year? A lot. Everyone has. Who hasn't?
For the Bash brothers of 1988, the road has been winding and not without its detours. McGwire has survived injuries and a trade to the National League to become baseball's premier power hitter. For Canseco, there have also been many obstacles, but now with his fourth team, he may have found a home north of the border. They're no longer brothers, but they are still bashing away. Well, those were the years in Oakland. Those guys generated excitement. As the Bash brothers, Canseco and McGwire averaged a total of 69 homers from 1987 to 92. They're actually bashing at an even better pace now, combining for 81 last year and this season off the charts, 43 total to date.
I'm 52 years old, and I want to go ahead and try and live a long life as far as I'm concerned. So my normal position here with the regular hitters is in here, and when McGwire comes up, I'll position myself where the third baseman positions himself, which is normally back here close to the grass. And I will go ahead and position myself here on the warning track. You can say that I'm scared, all right. You can say I am scared, because the one thing is, I'm not stupid.
Latch is not stupid. I mean, Latchman is almost in their dugout. Look at him. He's on the warning track. He's 15 feet from the coach's box.
Ready to man the tarp down the third base line. Right now he's in I'm going to move so far back you can't hit me position. If he had a chance, he'd build a bunker down there. A third base coach concerned for his safety.
He said the umpires give him a little bit of business once in a while. Tell him to get in the box, and he says, you get in the box. I'm not getting up there.
Hey, Latch! In the box!
Get in the box.
Oh, Latch is hot. He's going to make him get all the way in the box.
next thing I know, Pulley's telling me to stand in the box there. I said, well, you get your umpire to stand. You just come here and stand in the box down here, you know. And they say you got to go ahead and stay in this box for the rest of your all the time. Well, I'll look into my pension plan.
Latch is going, hey, my reflexes aren't that good for McGwire.
It's a scary situation when you're down here. I mean, I don't have the agility that I did once when I was 25. And I didn't have a whole lot of agility that time either, though.
Hey, good enough to get out.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, guys.
Going back to the vet, where you, no?
What about?
I mean, well, it's the first. Was where you played the first time when you were at the Cardinals. I mean,
I've already been back there before.
But you're going back. But I mean, is there anything?
Come on, man. You gotta think of a better question than that.
All right. Well, the offense is struggling. I mean, after the 13-4 win, what was the difference today? Obviously, Jesus pitched well.
Struggling, really? That's your assumption? The offense is struggling?
Just obviously today he had some good stuff, but against Atlanta had some problems too.
God. Sometimes you guys don't. Do you guys watch the game very well? Have you watched all our games this year?
Yeah, but today it was tough today.
That's right. So why would you assume the offense is struggling?
Well, and the last couple against Atlanta and some of the...
That's in the past, son. The past is the past. Do you live in the past? I don't. It's over with. Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't want to make you angry.
Well, I gotta...
No, I understand.
I like to talk about things that are real. You know?
Does it make any difference when you go on the road to go on the road for 3 games or for a long trip? I mean, is it better just kind of...
Scheduling is ridiculous.
Still need to kind of